No, legitimately, my whole thing when you come on this show is like you've been on this show. This is the sixth time. We've probably been on 5 times
Wow.
already.
Yeah.
Wow.
And 3 of them, I literally had like stuff written out and ready to go. And it was just like, we never hit any of those points.
That's probably
So
my fault. I will derail the conversation and make it go to where
Well, we laugh about it now because obviously the first one was like, oh shit, it's Bill. We have to like have all the questions and have all the information, and we kind of like really have to prepare. And she prepared the whole conversation. I think even your responses. Well,
Oh.
Bill's gonna say this.
Bill
and
might
Bill's
say this, Bill
right,
might say that.
right.
Like I had answers to anything you might say.
That's
I
okay.
did.
But okay. But like over preparing, and this is what's funny because even when we do like broadcast stuff, it's the same way. We put all these hours into learning, what are their best events and what are the best movements and how is this going to go and what's their history and what have they been doing, what's been leading up to here and all of the stuff. And then you get into it and you're like, dang, I didn't use any of that.
No.
But you feel solid. And the thing is that you have that for when you do need it. And
Yeah.
that's what's best. Because like these, like especially like these long form podcasts like this, like you could have a general idea or maybe like, a handful of questions you want to hit. But for the most part, if you don't ask, like if someone starts talking, you get going, like, why stop them? Like, that was good information. Hey, I got this other question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
man, we'll get there, so that's
Well,
cool.
and that's where I come into the conversation, and that's where I feel like my biggest strength is that I might do a little bit of research on someone, but I like to be the filler question. So if she's like, "Hey, I really want to ask Bill this," I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm able to listen to the question, your answer, and then I'm able to think of another follow-up question. Or, "Hey, have you thought," you know what I mean? Like, I'm a very conversational person. So I think in the beginning of this pressure of, well, it has to be a
barely
certain
conversational.
way. That is not true.
So Garrett's opening line and then Colleen is actual conversation. Got it.
But I felt that pressure in the beginning of like, oh my God, it has to look and sound a certain way and that kind of stuff. But I think with time, we're just like, hey, we just like to hang out and have a conversation. And I think she's starting to be.
Don't you think it's cool that with all of the people that are in this, I mean, all of the people that are in the space, they all start kind of like everyone else. And eventually they get to wherever it is that they do. Like, me and Chase, we do it our way, and Sevon does it his way. And, when John Young's on there, he does it his way, and Tyler does his thing, and JR does his thing. You guys do your thing. Like, everyone has their flavor. Because guess what? Like, if you're going to be hanging out for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, you better be like, you can only fake it for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can, so I think that's funny. So that's funny that Little G's like Bill Grundler because that's, Chase Ingram and Bill Grundler.
Yes.
Yes.
That's who we are. It's funny.
Because he listens to you guys all the time. And, and of course, whenever you guys come back on the broadcast, it's like, hey, I'm Chase Ingram and this is Bill Grundler and or Sean Woodland or whoever's on the mic or whatever. So he just is so used to hearing you guys talk. So now it's like he can't just say, hi, Bill. He has to say, hi, Bill Grundler.
That's okay.
And I love it.
I could take it.
Let's say hi a little bit. Laura, what's up, lady?
Yeah,
Love
baby.
you.
Hi.
You're so much fun. Joseph, what's up, ladies? What's up, dude?
See, change his picture again. Every time Joseph is in the chat somewhere, he has a different picture.
Got a lot of selfies. That's cool.
I love it.
Megan, hey, ladies. Hey, Bill. What's up, dude? Frank, I see you. Crossbat. Say your name again.
You see your next comment. We see you.
Crossbat.
We see you.
Frank, what's up? We'll get there. We have to edge a little bit. We haven't edged yet. We have to talk about adaptive and all that stuff, and we'll get into but don't derail my conversation because there's a conversation I want to have with Bill and
dude, there's no way he's gonna derail anything. Frank will be just fine. Frank will be just fine.
You went to adaptive.
I did.
That was awesome.
Man, I'll tell you what, like that of all of, I thought Masters was a very appreciative group. Those guys, that community is uber appreciative for like just being out there and commentating for them and putting a show on for them. It's very, very refreshing to see CrossFitters compete, just to see themselves compete. Not because, I mean, they want to do well, they want to win and all that kind of stuff, but like there isn't the just the money at the end of the thing, or hopefully get sponsorship or whatever. Like they just want to compete. They want to do awesome stuff. And it's so refreshing and so cool. And as much as they don't want it to be inspiring, they can't help but have it not be.
Do they say that a lot? Do a lot of them say that a lot? I know I've heard Kevin kind of talk about this idea of not being so inspirational or whatever, but do you feel like that's a common thing that a lot of them say, that they don't want to be that?
Yeah.
And why do you think that?
Because if it's inspirational, that means that like the spotlight is on them because they're so different than everyone else. They just want to compete. They want to. When they brought me and Jeremy in, when Lisa and Kevin and the crew brought all of us in, like that was the first thing Kevin said. We do not want this to be a exhibition, and let's showcase what people can, what these people can do. Because then it's these people. They're like, we want you guys to call it like a race. And so we did. And I mean, it was really interesting because is pussyfooting around as most people are in society now anyway. Everyone's like, it doesn't matter what you say, you're going to offend somebody anyway. But with that community, and I'm talking the whole of the adaptive community, from what I've seen and from what I've talked to those people and talking to Kevin, every time, like this is the second time we've done it, he's like, I have not heard the word cripple yet. Why not? I need it at least 4 times. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to say cripple on this broadcast. He's like, don't be a pussy. You need to say cripple. And I'm like, fuck. Like, we're not going to do it, man. We're not going to do it. But like, we'll call it like race. So if someone is not doing a good job, or they're just trash in that workout, to use John Young's terms, like if they aren't competing the way that they need to be, we'll call them on that. And we'll say the people that are doing good and why. But the thing is that like when you have your heat of below knee limited athletes, okay, now they have to do this and they have to do that. And we're calling the race, not, wow, look, could you imagine at home if you couldn't do, like, they don't want that. They didn't want that at all.
Yeah.
At
so
all.
What is your favorite race?
That's a tough question. I think
he doesn't get the joke. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Both sides of that would have been a good question. Both sides of that were a good question. I actually was confident because I was thinking the actual question, not the under question. But the actual question is a hard question. I mean, there's 16 divisions of those guys.
Yeah.
16 men, 16 division of women of that. So like there was a lot. So that like I did skim by your question, not because I wasn't trying to answer that question.
No, it's fine. It's cool. I was
like,
trying to catch you. You didn't get it. I was trying to do a diss these nuts joke, and it didn't come out.
I got you.
I've listened to Kevin talk a couple of times, and he's actually somebody that I would love to have on and have a conversation with, because he says that he's the asshole to a lot of people because he doesn't sugarcoat things. And he's very much like, if we lose our independence, that's it. Our
Yeah.
independence is the most important thing. And it's not just for the adaptive community, it's for everybody. And that's why the highlight that CrossFit puts on everybody, no matter if it's the masters, the adaptive, the elites, the teams, the teens, you know, and showing kids classes and adult classes and, you know, all type of things. Like, it shows that if we lose our independence, that's when life really starts to stop, you
Yeah.
know. And I love how he's so direct with that. He's like, he was telling a story about how someone came into his class for the first time and I believe was wheelchair bound, and like he was like, get out of your chair and get in your chair. And somebody tried to go over and help them, and he was like, you can't.
Mhm.
They have to figure it out.
Mhm.
And when you start to look at everybody in that way of like, we are all capable of figuring things out. We don't have to always have like the bubble wrap around us, or we don't always have to have the crutches. We can figure it out. And I think for everybody, he's a great reminder of that. Of like,
The
yeah.
no, I was gonna say you're exactly right. The way he talks at that level, he's like, I was talking about the programming actually this year, and he was saying that there was the rope climbs, the single arm rope climbs. There were a lot of the women that were in that division were pissed. They're
Mm.
like, "What the heck, man? You put this on there," and he's like, "We've had these before. It's not my fault that you haven't got. You decided that like this is too hard and I'm not going to do it, and so you decided. You're the one that gave up on that. And he's like, it was really interesting talking to him about it because he's like, I've battled. Like, where do you put that line? And he's
Mm.
like, this is supposed to be the CrossFit Games, the tip of the spear for these athletes. And what's rad is that there are Paralympic athletes at the CrossFit Games, and they're like, this whole thing is bigger to me and more important than the Paralympics. You know, they have Paralympic basketball players and Paralympic. This one girl, Amanda Wilson, she's gonna be on the USA Paralympic climbing team because she's in the seated 2 division, and she is a climbing machine. She
Oh
is
my
just a
God, she's
set of lats
yes.
and biceps. Like that's all
Yes.
she is. That's all she is. And what I think is even a bigger thing that, and Kevin's not even saying it, but he's saying it without saying it, is and this is what goes to what you were talking about, Colleen, that like everyone needs to get this, is that we are in the current stage of the society is that victimism is number one. I
Yeah.
can't do this because I shouldn't have to do this because this thing happened to me, that thing happened to me. Instead of just going like, okay, here's the deck of cards that I have, whatever the deck is, whether I was born with it or it happened somewhere in my life. And then I need to move forward from that. I need to be able to be strong. I need to be independent. I need to be functional at whatever level that means to that person. And I need to be able to handle my shit. And I need to be able to be happy
Uh,
individual with all that.
yeah.
And
Well,
that,
round,
yeah, you have to be. You have to be. And so he's talking about it for the individual athletes, you know, at the adaptive level and trying to push them on that micro level. But like that comment, and I wish all of CrossFit got this, because this is I mean, there's, you know, CrossFit HQ is starting to kind of use the terminology and the phrasing of like, you know, CrossFit is for anyone or for everyone but not anyone, or anyone but not everyone. Yeah, and the people that don't want it are the people that do not want to work hard. They do not want to feel any amount of discomfort. They shy away from discomfort. And
That's the spotlight right there. Is shying away from discomfort. And we
yeah,
don't want to be uncomfortable. And we don't want to
well,
sit in discomfort.
at least we don't want to say it, right? Like when something is difficult, I take this whole thing right now with the autism thing,
sure.
right? Um, we there are people out there that want to say like, we don't know, right? We don't know what Tylenol does. We don't know if Tylenol does something if a pregnant woman takes it, we don't know if it's genetic. We don't know if whatever, we don't know what actually causes autism. But the fact that people don't want to just say, like, oh crap, if I took Tylenol while I was pregnant, that could have done something. That's a that's a uncomfortable conversation to have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's okay if you didn't know and you took it, and that might be a cause, but it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. And the fact that we're not having uncomfortable conversations, like, I took the everybody on here that basically that follows this channel knows that I took the original COVID vaccine. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that I did that because
Yeah.
I knew better and I didn't want to take it. But because I talked to so many of my family and because Colleen and I were trying to have a second baby at that time, and I didn't want to not be able to be in the hospital if she did get pregnant, I took it, but I didn't want to.
Mhm.
Right. Well, okay, but okay, so that's
It's being
whether it if people took it while they were pregnant, if women were taking it while they were pregnant, it's not because they were trying to have anything bad happen to them or the baby, right? I
yeah,
mean, generally speaking, and I'll say generally because there's always wackos out there, but generally speaking,
Oh, you mean the
it,
ones that are popping Tylenol right now to prove a point?
yeah, those
Yeah.
ridiculous
Okay.
ass people.
Yeah. Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
them. Um, I don't think that anyone is going to intentionally going to try to do something to harm their child, even if there's something like this. Like the idea that you would risk that is to me is idiotic. Like okay, that right there is the whole like if you take yourself out of society, like cool, someone that we don't got to deal with, that's below the fringe that we don't have to worry about anymore. But generally speaking, like okay, there is no one, I don't think, that would say that alcohol is good for you,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Yet people will still choose to drink it,
Yes.
right? And there will always be like you're always going to have to justify, okay, like this is bad, this is good. Oh, a perfect example. The Girl Scout cookie thing came out and like there were heavy metals, leads, whatever, that were
Yeah.
in
Yep.
the Girl Scout cookies. Okay. I heard about that and I was like, I said something about it, came up, I was talking to my daughter. My daughter's 10. And I was like, man, they found out that there was some, heavy metals in the Girl Scout cookies. Like, that sucks because I liked eating those things and I can't eat those anymore. And she goes, well, what do you mean? I go, well, I'm not going to eat something that has something that's going to do damage to me. And she's like, oh, well, I was hoping that I could have some. And I go, well, I don't want you to eat it because there's something bad in it. Well, does that mean I'll die if I eat one? And I'm like, okay, of all the Girl Scout cookies I've eaten in my lifetime, like I'm not dead, no, but do I want to run the risk of that? So I am like, no, I don't want that for you. That's not to say that her mom might not get it. I mean, like she had a hard time with that because it was like, okay, so are you saying that like I'm gonna die if I eat this? And it's like, well, no, I don't think you're going to die. However, it said that there's traces of stuff in there. Even if they say, hey, that's a healthy trace, or that's not a healthy, that's a safe, that's under the limit of in the realm of safe to eat this bad stuff. Should you eat it? Like, well, why would I? That doesn't make any sense. So
It,
I don't think that anyone would intentionally try to do it, but that uncomfortable conversation, I think that people need to also be all right with. It's like, okay, like you, Colleen, like you just justified why you took that COVID shot, right? And I mean, like you may be like bummed out
I
that you did
did.
it,
I
but like
did.
at the time, no, I'm sorry, Garrett.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I justified it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so you justified it, but like that was where you were when the decision went down.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
all of this discussion wasn't happening when earlier. So it's like, yeah, I could see someone, any kid that would have autism, and then be like, shit, did I take Tylenol? Well, I thought that would be better than Advil, and I was hurting with this. Well, how was I supposed to know? To take that on like, well, I did something bad to my kid. I don't think it's a day to something bad to their kid. I think that like something just happened. Like that was something that, like, that was the deck of cards. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of parents that have kids that, I mean, just like I said, like at the adaptive division, where there's either neurological disorders or there's physical disorders that happen, and they were born that way, but the parents did everything right. It's just like just one of
And
those
you
things.
try to, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you're not trying to do something to hurt your kid. You're trying to do what medical professionals or people like you don't know yet.
Right.
And so you're
Right.
trying to do the best that you can do with the information that you have at the time.
Man,
And
I mean, like if I look back on my life, I think about what I wanted to be when I was younger and what I thought versus now what I think now.
yeah.
Like completely different story. Like, I mean, not that I thought the government was out to get me when I was younger necessarily, but I was like, of course they're here. They want to try and set us up, and then the food pyramid, and you have all of these things that you're looking at, and it's like you find out all of that is false, and then you're like, okay, well, now why am I going to listen to anything that you tell me? Like, I'm sorry. Like, strike one, fool me once, fool me twice. Third time, I don't want to have the conversation with you anymore.
Now you're going to look at weird things that the government does, where you wouldn't have looked at weird things that the government did before.
Every single time they say anything, any side, and this is what I think a lot of the political people need to, like, everyone is hardcore on what the Democrats, bam, they're way on that side, and the conservatives, bam, are way over on that side. And it's like both of them, if you're looking politically, especially if you're looking at any of the media stuff, it's so hardcore one way or the other. It just makes me go like, let me look into this first, which is probably a good thing. I mean, I never did that before. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do anyway, right? You're supposed to go like, let me look into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that was the case, but like
we're here now.
We're here now.
We're here now.
Now.
Totally.
Yeah.
We're here now. We weren't here then.
Crossback, getting pregnant was hard enough. Yeah, it was. And Colleen needed
I needed a lot of help.
Yeah, getting pregnant. And there was a
lot of help during my pregnancy too.
So,
and we were talking about that the other day when this whole thing kind of broke. I have my own guilt on that. I have my own feelings on that, but it doesn't stop me from the now, knowing more now, and focusing on helping him and giving him everything he needs now and moving forward. And that kind of brings me back to, because you said it before, Bill, this idea of moving on and looking forward and whatever. When did that become so offensive to say to people? like when did that become so like, listen, you've been through a lot, and we've all been through a lot. And that's something that I selfishly might find comfort in with this whole Tylenol, medication, vaccine talk around autism. Is it my fault? Did I give my kid autism and whatever? Like, we all go through challenges, some more than others. We're very lucky that Garrett is on the side of the spectrum that he is. Our hearts go out to our friends that their kids are on a different part of the spectrum, and what they have to go through and their challenges and whatever. But like, when did that become such a bad thing?
Conversation to have.
Yeah, to have, where it's like, we've all been through shit, but eventually we have to move on and we have to look forward. When did that become so offensive?
I would say, okay. Garrett, I love that you always on Instagram are always posting all like the living in the 80s things, even though you weren't from the 80s directly, but like you
I am from the 80s directly.
Okay, wait.
I am.
How old were you in the 80s?
I was born in 81.
Okay, that's like saying that I lived. I lived in the
just because you
60s,
were a teenager in the 80s.
69.
Whatever,
Totally.
bro.
I'm a total.
I still enjoy.
Peace and love. Okay, I'll give it to you because of the 80s. You were
I
at least
enjoyed the
9.
80s.
Okay, I got it. I love the stuff you put up there because like I lived all those. Every picture of all the kids you put up there, I'm like, hey, is that? I think that's Robbie. Hey, I think that like every single kid, they all look familiar.
Yo, he knows the kids.
Totally. And you know them by full name, right? So like, hey, that's Robbie Daggett, and that's Chris Vega, and that's
That was
Um,
100% correct.
Damn. All right, the Reeds. I'll see you at Crash,
Well,
bro.
that must mean that I can't touch the 80s.
No, you can't.
And I love
No,
the 80s.
that's okay. My daughter's 10. She loves the 80s too, so it's fine. Like I get it.
Yes.
Like there's like
Yes.
it was an amazing time. Anyway,
I saw my mother's hairstyle. I know what it was.
I think that like okay, so we were the latchkey kids. We were the kids that like we would come home from school. We'd be the first ones there. The parents would come back afterwards.
Okay,
You
so
had to
can
get
I
your
say
school yourself.
can
What?
I
Go
say
ahead.
I'm the leftovers of that? Because I was
Oh, that's
also
fine.
that.
No, you're fine.
I can be the
You're
leftovers.
fine. You're fine.
fine.
I'm not claiming the 60s, but no,
Just
you're
don't
good.
call me a freaking millennial. I hate
I
that.
didn't. I didn't give it to you. I didn't give it to you. You're good. You're good. But what I think is so we were tough kids that came up, and we didn't want our kids. Jeez, oh man.
Sorry.
Wow.
God damn
awesome.
it. That is
That's
crazy.
I was potty trained. Get over it.
But so we didn't want our kids to have to deal with the stuff that we dealt with. Not that it was super. I mean, we dealt with it. It was fine, but you always want better for your kids, right?
Mhm.
So like I never hear anybody say this, and I don't really know why, but no one wants to take responsibility. My generation is the one that did everyone gets a participation award. Like I remember watching that come up where everyone's like, hey, we don't want someone sort of feel bad. So, everyone's going to get a trophy. And it's like, whoa, everyone's going to get a trophy. Why? I don't understand why. But I saw that happening. It was when that stuff started happening that we as a society, I guess, as kids got weak because we didn't grow up with some sort of tough skin to be able to have conversations or deal with things that are coming at you. I don't want to throw in the whole, back in my day, we were a lot. I mean, everyone's got their stuff that they got to deal with, and I understand.
I do.
I mean, you can. I'll let you take it. That's fine. That's fine. But I do. I mean, who wants their kids to get bullied? Nobody. Yet, how many of us at our time frame had to deal with the bully, and that's what made us a certain way, to where we had got some tough skin. I mean, I remember specifically. I mean, I'm at my mom's house right now. It's really kind of funny. I remember specifically coming home, first grade, and I was in tears when I got home. Talking to my mom, I'm like, they were saying that I had a big nose, Mom. Of course, my mom's like, Bill, you don't have a big nose. You tell them that your mom said you don't have a big nose. I'm like, I don't think that's going to work, Mom.
No, it's not.
Did I get into a fight about having a big nose? Yeah, but I mean, I still got a big ass nose. Like I did fine. And the thing is that you learn that like, hey, you're gonna say that about me? I don't fucking care. Like you can't hurt my feelings by what you say. Now, a word comes out of your mouth, and instantly someone thinks like, and I hate the word. Yeah, she's not lying at all. Well, she's lying. She's trying to make it feel good. I know what I am. But like, no one can take any word other than what makes them. Oh my gosh, you have to put them up on a pedestal and pet their hair for them to feel remotely okay. Otherwise, anything other than that, I'm triggered. I feel this, and I have this, mental health that, and like all of the things that go down. And it's so hard to watch that because it really doesn't matter. And this is the thing that's sad now. We've gotten so far away from what the midline, what it should be, that like you can say something nice to someone and they can, based on whatever day they're having, they take it wrong and they think that you're triggering them, or they think that you're saying something that's not correct or isn't appropriate, or it's a hate word, or it's a this or that. And it's like, man, I'm at the point where I don't care anymore. Because the thing is, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I can try so hard to say all the right things and it will still offend somebody. So if that's going to be the case, then I'm not going to run off of everyone else's feelers that are out there. I'm going to go off mine. And if I'm not trying to be a dick to you, then I'm not trying to be a dick to you. Like if I say something and I think the person that has said it the best it was Joe Rogan, and he's like, you should be able to say pretty much whatever you want, but it's the intent that you're saying. It's not the word. The word is not inherently this, that, or the other thing. It's the intent that you're using it. It's like, I mean, you could say dick, and you can use that with so many different scenarios, some being super cool and some being super bad. So which one do you choose to use on that? That kind of stuff,
We had a really good conversation with John Young and Brock Kirby the other night, Unashamed Faith and Fitness.
Yeah.
And it was basically like, hey, who taught us that you hate us? That we have to so right now we would have to lump you into the conservative, white, heterosexual male, everything that Hillary Clinton said is awful. And you don't,
that every problem is caused
from
by
you.
you.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
And we, yeah.
Right here. Oh, me. This guy.
And we just have to assume that you don't like us. And who taught us that? It wasn't you that said that. It wasn't white, conservative, Christian, heterosexual males that was like, hey, we hate you.
Yeah.
That's not who taught us that. We weren't, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think we have to come to that and we have to figure that out. We have to figure out who taught us that. And it wasn't you guys, it was our own people that taught us that.
No. Well, what we did is we opened the door. We
Okay.
said we started with the premise of this. This is what I think.
Okay.
I feel that we started with the premise of we don't want to hurt your feelings. We don't want you to feel bad about yourself when you're in this sport or you're in this activity. So there's not a winner or loser. We don't want, if he wins and you're a loser, then I don't want you to feel like you're a loser. Even though guess what, in life, like some people win and some people lose on certain things. Like you get the job or you don't. You win the event or you don't. So you have to know how to handle that. But what we did is we opened up the door to trying to protect the feelings. And then that once that went back so far, now it's only about the feelings. And now all of a sudden you don't even know why you were trying to protect the feelings. It's like, well, I must feel bad, so my feelings must be a certain way. Or I'm marginalized. So obviously if I'm marginalized, that means that all of the other people that aren't, they are the ones that are trying to hurt me. And it's like that scale got tilted. I don't think anyone truly knows. But other than the fact that trying to figure out who said it, with the situation you guys are talking about, I don't know if you could lay it out. I think that it was something that was ingrained for a handful of years before those people got to where they could be loud enough to say something.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
fair, because I don't, like I said to John and Brock, I don't ever remember it being the church or what. Like I remember my own party warning me that that's a thing.
Yeah.
And that I should look out for that and that I should be wary of that and that I shouldn't trust and that I shouldn't do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
was that long ago?
When I first came out, probably like 19, 20 years old is when I started oh, gay people. Oh, gay bookstore. Oh, gay club. Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I just started hanging out all the time.
It's safer for us to be in
gay
groups. It's not
even
the
movies showed us that. And I'm not saying that the movies were wrong. They were based on real life shit that happened.
And also not saying that for some people that is the only safe place for them to be. I get that. There are people that are not around people that are nice, you know what I mean, that they're actually violent towards people. We get those stories.
Right.
But it's not the difference now, at least for us, is I'm not taking that one experience that I might have experienced and generalizing everybody and saying, well, okay, so because this person that looks this way, is this way, acts this way, talks this way, loves this way, whatever, every single person that looks like them has to feel the same way. Whereas before,
Well, and I can see that. I mean, you could very easily, I think, come up with any scenario like that. You're a you're a white woman in New York and you get like mugged by some black guy or some Hispanic guy. You're a
Yeah,
white
there's a
guy, they
narrative
get mugged.
already.
I mean, like you
Yeah.
can line it up, and it's like, well, hey, I see a black guy over there. Maybe I shouldn't go over there. Or I see a Mexican guy over there. Maybe I shouldn't go over that way. Or maybe I see this gay guy, or that's a gay girl over there, and like, well, they're this way, so I'm not going to go. I mean, because I've seen. I think that everyone lives in the realm of their experience, and I mean, even to your point, Garrett, like you've said in the past, you're like, you know what, like you, Bill, and Sevon, and the guys that are in that group, like have kind of shown me that not all guys are shitheads. And I was like, oh, that's a cool statement. Now it's weird because when I hear that, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know, that's a nice thing to say. But from your perspective, you're looking at things that have been like your whole experience of dealing with whatever. And then all of a sudden, here we come in and we aren't that now.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden, it's like it washes it a little bit. Not to say that everyone's great, but like it washes.
No, it was definitely weird. It's like, oh, there's a group of dudes that are safe.
Yeah.
Like even the chat, even like Kenneth, Bernie, CrossFat, like D Reed, like there's a group of dudes that are safe to have a conversation with that I never had before.
Yeah.
And didn't know that existed. And yo, bro, I'm not actually going to say your name on air because Jeremy told me that I'm not black enough to say it, but better late than never. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
I mean,
like I'm absolutely glad because it's made my world better being able to like hang out, chit chat, get guys' perspectives, talk to men, like understand where they're coming from. And it's not scary. And it's not like, oh, what are they going to do if I do this? And I know people that's their whole thing is like, if you're a dude, I can't trust you. And the fact that there's a group of dudes like you guys, like Get With the Programming, Pedro, Sevon's crew, like all those guys, like I've never had, and I told you that I've never had that many dudes that I could just have a real conversation with and it was safe to do that.
Yeah.
So
like I
Souza, Souza, Joseph, all you guys, everybody in the chat, CrossFat, like all you guys.
I will say that it's been you know, of all of the people in all the groups that I'm in and the podcasts and the like the locker room, and like I'm the oldest one. I'm the oldest out of everybody. So I stand back a lot. I'm not nearly as fire as like if I would have been in this group like when I was like 35, I would be the loudest. I mean, like you think Taylor's loud? Like I would be loud. You know, I would be loud. But
you're so chill.
That's because I'm old, man. Like I have realized, and this is what's so great about like me and Laura, because she's so much younger than I am. She's like, I don't know how you're so calm about this. And I'm like, you know what? That person or that thing doesn't deserve any of my energy at all. So it's just like, turn off the energy. You got none, you know, like it's cool. I only give my energy to what matters and to who matters, which is important. But going back to like our group, I think that one of the coolest things that I've even learned about being like within the locker room.
If I see Souza, I'm crossing the street.
Wow, Judy. Bill got Babe Ruth's autograph in person.
Damn.
Not that old. Close.
My daughter says wise, not old, wise.
I'll take that. Aged. What age?
Fine wine.
Yeah, whatever. Fine wine. You know, cheese, whatever. But I think what's been really cool is within that group, and there are obviously a lot of podcasts within that group, you know, there is so much discussion that happens, and it is probably one of the, I mean, other than probably like with a handful of my best friends, like growing up, that I have seen deep conversations of where there's deep disagreement, but the conversation still happens. And that has been one of the cool to see, because that is not what is happening today at
With
all. I mean,
anybody.
and if I mean, and going back a week or so ago, like that, right? That one item was the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Whatever the conspiracy theories about who, what, where, when, why, and all the things of how it happened. The fact of the matter is that there was one guy that did nothing about, he wasn't a politician. He didn't make any laws. He didn't make any rules. Whether you agreed or didn't agree, the thing is that he went to people, he went to universities and he talked. And that was it. That was
Yeah.
it. I mean, and again, like I've seen him do it, seen Jordan Peterson do it, I've seen Ben Shapiro do it, where they'll go to a university and they'll do like the round robin where they put the circle
Yep.
of people around and they sit right in the middle and people just come in and they just come
Yeah,
at
the
them.
Jubilee, all the
Yeah,
Jubilee
yeah.
episodes.
Yep.
Yep.
Like-
I've seen all those too.
Like, how, even if you don't agree, how can you not like the fact that it's like, that's a straight up debate with people talking whatever, like actually, like that's that when they do that Jubilee, like there's some there are some intelligent people that come into that to throw facts way different than even I would see like Charlie Kirk would hit when he would do the open mic thing that he would do. I mean, there were I mean, he seemed like he didn't have a hard time disputing the facts that people were having, at that university. But when they do that Jubilee, dude, people
yeah.
came in heavy. They
just want Jubilee. They just want to hurt you.
Well,
Like, that's, yeah.
But at least they came in
Yeah.
in with some heavy duty facts that
No,
really
respect.
pushed Kurt, it pushed Charlie, pushed Jordan really
Even
hard.
Dave Smith.
Oh man, all of them.
Yeah.
But it's cool because what are they doing? They're talking, and like, I'm sorry, like I like to think that I'm in the know, but I don't have the time or the desire. Maybe I don't have the time or the desire to like totally study everyone's angle, and like I don't. So like a lot of times I don't get into the big argument because I
don't
see what I
either.
need to see, or I like if something will confuse me, then like I'll look into it a little bit. But like I have a lot of other things going on that I don't get super into that. So it's cool to see. I like the discussion. I want to see it. In fact,
What
if
do
you're
you-
not listening to both sides of your argument, you're probably pretty, and then you're just in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. What did you think about the echo chamber kills me, and Colleen will get a little aggravated with me because I'll sit downstairs and I'll watch like PBD, which is probably the most rational podcast, and then I'll go watch Young Turks and watch it be crazy, and then I'll go watch Pierce Morgan because it's like
Pierce is fun.
and like I
Pierce
mean
just
it's
comes
just
with that spoon and
just stir shit.
stirs the shit.
And she'll be like, "Yo, come to bed," and I'll be like, "No, I'm not. I'm on my like 5th like podcast of the night." And she's like, "Girl,
Put it down.
yeah,
pipe down, like just pipe down." Pause. Sorry. But I like it a lot. I enjoy watching all of them. The one that was the most funny to me, and I don't know if you saw this, but did you see Jillian Michaels walk out on her own podcast? And they asked her they were talking about the easiest thing. It was just like she didn't want to hear people talk or criticize or ask questions about Israel.
Mhm.
And she was like, "No, I'm out. Goodbye. Like, whatever. We're not here to put Israel down." But nobody was putting Israel down. They were just asking questions about Israel. And it was like immediately like, "No, you can't do that." And I was just like, because you might get called an anti-Semite or whatever
Right,
if
right.
you ask a question about Israel. I don't hate Jewish people. I don't think that Jewish people are bad, anything like that. I do think that you should be able to talk and have a conversation and criticize a government.
I think that's a big point. I think a lot of people miss that part is, like, okay, the American government, I would not say by any means is perfect. That's not to say, yeah, American government's the best, and so all the American people are the best. No, I don't think that every single person in China is the Chinese government. I don't think that every single person
Yeah.
that's in Israel
Right.
is of the Israel government. I don't think that, like, I think that at some point when you, and this is my, I guess this is my world, how I deal with a lot of that stuff is, and being a coach and everything, like I deal with people on a one-to-one basis. And the one-to-one basis is, and okay, here's an interesting story. I got one for you. So I had a member in my gym. He was in the Air Force. Was out of the Air Force for a while. Got into some. He was a conspiracy theory guy for sure. Loved all the conspiracy theory stuff, and because I like to talk about the conspiracy theory stuff, I would talk to him about that. So we had a connection that he didn't have with a lot of other people, because a lot of other people are going to be like, what, are you going to say the world's flat again? You're going to talk at what? So we didn't go to the moon. So we didn't do, like, all of the things. And what's interesting about a lot of those things is, like, there are a lot of really interesting facts or questions on all of them, and it's like, okay, if I'm going to say, no, that's not true, where did I get my information from? Oh, the school book that I had when I was in school that was issued by whatever, or it's the current whatever that is told by the government. So of course I have to believe whatever. I didn't go, so I don't know. I can't say. I'm just taking someone else's information and I'm using that. Anyway, so we would always talk about all of these types of things. All of a sudden, like, he was getting into the politics stuff. He would get into the whole Israel thing, and I would just kind of like let him talk, because in the gym, as long as it's not, I make sure that our gym doesn't get political. But if it's like one-on-one and it's outside of the normal people, like I'll talk to whoever. I mean, like, hey man, tell me what you're thinking. Tell me your stuff. Sometimes it's just interesting as a coach to know, let me know where this person's coming from on whatever, because I'll get a whole perspective on who they are and what they are and everything.
Well, we're basically just laymen having conversations and talking. And so like if we ask a wrong question or something that someone deems is a wrong question, all of a sudden it's like, hey dude, I'm trying to understand this shit as much as you're trying to understand this shit. Like, if I said it insensitively for some reason, like, my bad, but I'm literally just asking a question.
Yeah.
I just want to know what you think.
Anyway, so this guy, he decided he wanted to go to, he was going to leave California and he wanted to move to Arkansas because there was a white Anglo-Saxon community that was there. And he was like big on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So there was like all the racist stuff started kind of coming up. And, he would start to say things to me like, like, why can't the people that are in, these different countries are like, why can't they go back to their own country? Like the Japanese, why do they want to be here? Why can't they just go to Japan or whatever? And I go, well, I don't see what the big deal is. So we would have these discussions. And I had people that would come up to me and they'd be like, dude, did you know that so-and-so is racist? And I'm like, I go, okay, let me put it this way. I think that he is a lost individual and is looking for a group to like kind of take him in, because look who he hangs out with here in the class. He hangs out with a little Asian guy, a middle-aged Asian woman, an old Irish lady, one of the Hispanic girls over here. Like, if the dude's racist, he's not talking or hanging out with any of those people if he's like really racist. And when we were talking, like as I was talking to him, I go, look, I don't agree with the things that you are saying. I don't agree with the everyone is this and everyone is that, because I deal with people on like a one-to-one basis. So if you're Jewish and you're a dick to me, I think you're a dick because you're a dick, not because you're Jewish. You know what I mean?
Bam.
And he's like, okay. And I saw him. So here's a guy who's supposed to be racist, who is hanging out with all these individual people, treating them, and being very cool. It wasn't like there was no he was friends with these people. So like I would talk to the other people in the gym when they would come in and be concerned. I'd be like, hey, look, I see what you're saying, but look how does he treat you racist? No. Do you feel that he is superior to you and he was putting you down and you are less? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. So I go, at least on a personal level, He's not that way with you. But yes, I think what's happening now is everyone talks in massive generalities. All homosexuals are this. All white Anglo-Saxon males are this. All
Yeah.
Israel are this. All Muslims are this. All. And I get that the gist of maybe those communities and or like when you're talking the white Anglo-Saxon man, it's certainly not me. I'm not the rich guy sitting up on some throne. I would maybe like to be one of the rich guys sitting up on one of those thrones, but I mean, I'm not there. So how can I be held for all of these things that guy's doing? I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's an interesting, like, I think we're really stuck because we don't know which one we're supposed to. How can you be so loud about a group of people, but then be cool with a person that is of that group of people? And I think we're having a hard time understanding that because I mean those are two that's like right brain left brain type of stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's hard. It makes it really hard.
And I think that we are in a place where we're trying to fix the masses all at once and instead of starting with the individuals. I was having a conversation with a guy at the gym that I go to, and we were just kind of chatting about our kids and stuff like that. And it kind of came up where, like, with everything that's going on in the world, where do you focus? And I said, well, I can only focus on myself. I can only control what I can control. I can't control what you control. I can't control what Garrett controls. I can't control what anybody in the chat controls. Like, I can only control how I show up and how I treat other people. And I think that when you stop focusing on trying to change the masses and you start to really focus within first, and then, like you said, interacting with this person and having and this person and this person and this person, that's where then it's almost like when you like a ripple. Like when you
Yeah.
touch the water, it goes out.
Right.
And I think that that's the power that we can have as individuals when we start with the individuality of us and then one person at a time and getting that ripple effect. And for him, he was so like, no, we have to change the mind of the people, of everybody. And I'm like, how exhausting is that? How
Yeah.
exhausting is that? And how unrealistic is that?
Well, I
I'm
mean, I was gonna say like it is unrealistic, 100%. I think that that is something that I've seen generally. That at least on the Democratic side, the liberal side, it's a big sweeping emotional all or nothing,
yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
how is it? I mean, I guess in theory it sounds great. Change the mind of the people. Okay, that's a lot of people. What, you
Yeah.
have one powerful statement that's all of a sudden going to make everyone snap like that? Like, I don't think so. The way that you would work it is one at a time, which is
Yeah.
really weird because, like, here's our whole country. What do? We're supposed to vote, right? And that's the actual, that's the theory right there, is everyone does their thing by putting in their vote, and eventually all those things matter because the people are going to be going towards a certain way or whichever. If nobody voted, you wouldn't be able to pick anybody.
Mhm.
So you have to go one thing at one person at a time.
But you can influence others. That's what I mean, KDL. That's what I mean. But I can only be in control on how my influence, like, I can't force people that,
Do you
and
think do you guys see it as as big in real life as you see it online? Like I'm really, and I've been for a while beginning to believe that a lot of this shit is online. It's not what I see in my everyday life. Like I don't walk through town and someone has a MAGA hat on and somebody else is like going "Rah!" and there's some
Oh,
big
that
lip.
happens in real life.
Oh,
That
does it to you
that does
guys?
that does happen. I mean, you'll see that kind of stuff, yeah.
Oh,
But
I've
I
seen
do.
it online. I've never seen it in person.
Oh, no, I've seen it, but I do think that I mean, they don't call them keyboard warriors for nothing, right? Like everyone's really loud when someone can't grab them by the shirt collar if they say something bad to them. You know what I mean? So
and there's so many
That's fair.
ways to make things, like, it's really hard to figure out what's real and what's not real.
100%. That is the
You
hardest
can
part.
Yeah.
stage everything and anything on the internet,
Right.
especially now with AI. You can create anything. You can get people to be like, hey, go act this way so I can film this real quick. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So that's the hardest part for me is like when you hear all these things, it's like, oh my God, what do you believe? Like, and is more information actually a good thing? Or is
Right.
there too much information now that you really don't know where there's any truth? Before it was like your version of the story, my version of the story, and the actual story is somewhere in the middle. Now it's like millions on each side, and there's like maybe a sprinkle as to what's right, but you don't actually know what's right or what's not.
Well, and I think that, that's what they got, even like with the whole COVID thing, there was the doing your own research. People
Yeah.
would say that. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, the doing your own research is, okay, let me just see what all the things are, and then I'm gonna have to make up my own choice. I'm gonna have to make up my own mind. That's where I think it becomes imperative to listen to both. So you have to know what are both sides saying, so I know where kind of like the range is, so I know where it goes. Like if you're watching TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you can kind of see a lot of it is cut and paste and repeat on a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like, okay, I've seen it until they get to something different or something. Like, oh, I hadn't heard of it that one yet, or I haven't seen that one yet. Like for example, like, okay, I saw when Charlie got hit. I
Mhm.
saw the video when it first came out. Um, I heard when he died right away, and then it was like, damn. And then listening to all the things that were happening, watching all what people were doing, then watching. I mean, as you would think with any like calculated assassination, it probably just wasn't as clean as it was, because that was a damn good shot. And if it was the kid laying, Tyler, whatever, up on top of the roof from whatever 200 meters away with a rifle that he's never really used before, and all of the things, and then they start showing all the different angles and why are these things. And so it's like, man, okay, so regardless of who it was, I boil it down to, okay, what was the reason? Like, I don't know who did it officially. I mean, I know that um, Tyler is now confessing to it, but with all the things that are coming out, and it's like, man, I think you were a used kid in this one. I really, honestly do. My perspective from all the things I'm starting to see. But
My thing was the text messages. That's the one that I
gnarly.
don't believe. Those
Yeah,
things
right,
I don't
right.
believe. I don't believe those text messages at all for a
What
22-year-old.
did you say? Is one of them said vehicle? Like
Yeah,
who
Yes,
says
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
vehicle?
yeah,
for
yeah.
for
Yeah,
Who
totally.
uses the word vehicle?
for a
Yeah.
furry and a gay kid that doesn't know who he is, that's the way they text each other. Like,
Right.
I don't for 2 seconds think
Yeah.
that's real, but that's just my conspiracy theory
Right.
about
But I
it.
mean, but it's a question, right? It's a total
Yeah,
question. The fact of the matter is, we still see this that I mean, as far as we can tell, like, I don't see Charlie walking around anywhere, so it didn't look like they faked his death. So,
I know that's
you know,
I
going
mean, if they
around
faked the
too.
amount of blood that came out, that's crazy, because I came across that video and I didn't mean to, and I was
Oh,
like,
the side view.
yeah, and I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, fuck, that's."
Well, did you see the one where they were doing the videos where people would, like, hunters would take basically what an actual neck would be like, and then shooting it to see what it would do, and the thing just like implodes. Like, it
Oh.
wouldn't be like an explosion out the side. It's like it looks like it would be virtually like
Oh, man, y'all
decapitation.
don't fuck with me right now. I saw what I saw, I was sad, I cried that day. Don't tell me he's fucking
Yeah.
alive. I don't wanna
But there
like,
were
I'll be
but
mad.
there were a lot of, I mean, I I really admired Charlie Kirk. I've actually watched him for a while. Like, I've been watching him for a while as he kind of
Me
came
too.
up, which is really
Yeah.
cool. Um, but I know I could understand why people would want to take him out. I can understand why certain ideologies would want to take him out. I thought it was really weird when they did the open casket funeral, and there was a shot, a video shot over his wife where she has her hand on his hand. Like,
Mhm.
why the hell are you showing that? I don't like that. To me, like, if I was Mrs. Kirk, I would not be like, hey, this would be a really great angle to get. Like, I don't understand that to me is like, I don't know, man. That seems weird.
Where is the line between the fans and the support needs to see and just,
Hey,
you know what I mean? Like,
but wait a minute, guys. We're looking at this through a lens. We're regular people that nobody fucking knows, and there's no news cameras that's gonna come film our spouses. Like, if anything happens to our spouse, knock on wood, never happens, blah, blah, blah. But none of that's ever gonna happen. She's been in the spotlight with her, or at least her husband's been in the spotlight for ever and ever and ever. Like, friends with the president, friends with people in high places. I look, I'm just playing devil's advocate right now. Like, it's
Having shots at the funeral, without a doubt, 100%. You got to show the kids, you show the wife, all of the things. The shot where you're going to show him in an open casket, though, is different, I think. Like that looked to me like someone is trying to rally up some emotion by showing this. Like, here he is actually dead. Here he is. We're gonna prove to you that he's dead by showing. I mean, I don't know how many dead people you guys have ever seen in your life, whether it's been like an open casket type thing or actual.
I've seen enough, yeah.
Like the hand looked plastic. I don't really know if that was his hand or not. It could have been. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, but why? But like that when I saw that, I was like, I was cool, and then that happened, and I'm like, I don't know now. And I'm not saying he wasn't killed. I'm just saying that was really weird. It was really strange.
Oh, Kate, you're fun. Erica Kirk is not grieving. Don't give me that. Everyone grieves in their own way bullshit. But that's unfair, because I definitely don't grieve the same way that my wife does. I do not have a lot of emotions at all until way, way, way later. And Colleen has a lot of emotions on demand.
on spot.
Like,
On the spot.
immediately when it happens.
Yeah, it's like me and Laura. That's like me and Laura right there.
But I'm not saying you're
I'm
wrong.
assuming she's my emotional sister that
Like-
we just did.
Kate, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I've experienced something else. CrossFat, what you got? What did you say? Yeah, dude, his funeral was a rallying event. I'm not saying that can't be true either. I'm not saying that they didn't use it to galvanize the young Republicans. Like, I'm not saying
it was. I mean, he was.
That's fine.
Bronze is a martyr right then.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm not saying that he wasn't. He was.
Yeah.
And like, I definitely thought, like, hey, he died, but there's gonna be 1,000 of them, 1,000 more Charlie Kirks that rise from that. So I'm not saying they didn't use him as like a media, like, hey, let's get all the 20 to 30-year-old Republicans to rise and go to Turning Point USA. Like,
I mean, if that was a plan, like, that's kind of gross. If that was a, hey, you know what, we could really use this. Okay, I understand. I still think it's kind of gross, but I understand it. He had a movement, you know what I mean? And like, I think it would be sad and very remiss that if here's this guy that drives this movement the way that he did, he gets taken out and then it just stops. I think that would be worse. So I could see the rallying. I don't really think in all reality, I don't think there needed to be the rally behind it. I think it would have been if what's her name? Erica. If Erica got up there and started kind of taking over and if she could speak the way he spoke, and she was able to have those same discussions, then there was no need to do that. I don't think.
Damn, CrossFat. Yeah. In the beginning, when I said it's you, CrossFat. Why did Erica walk out like Goldberg? What? With the sparklers? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
That's what you're.
Yes.
I would be okay with the memorial. The actual funeral, to me, with the pomp and circumstance, feels weird. But like, having just a humongous memorial for him doesn't feel weird.
Did you watch the 9 hours of his memorial service?
All right, guys, fine, whatever.
Hey. There. I will say this. I mean, like that was around the world, there were those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, that was a guy, and it was crazy because you either knew who he was or you had no idea who he was.
So
Like, you weren't.
I really didn't. I would see some of his reels and clips and stuff that would, be in my algorithm or whatever. But so I knew of him, but I didn't follow him the way that like you guys
Oh
followed
man,
him.
I've watched him for a while.
Me
My
too.
aunt said the same thing. She's like,
Yeah.
I have
Me too.
watched him
I've seen him
grow
for a while.
up, and she really got invested in
I've watched him long
him.
enough to hate him first and then understand what he was
Exactly.
trying to say later. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how long
Yeah.
I watched him.
Yeah. So I just, obviously now starting to listen to more stuff because I was like, oh shit, like what did I miss kind of thing. And it's a lot.
All
It's
right.
a
It's a
lot.
lot.
So, okay. So before we get lost in the weeds, Kimmel, let's move to Kimmel. I'm dying to hear
Okay. Okay.
your thoughts on Jimmy Kimmel.
Were you sad when he lost his show?
My man used to be funny.
No, well, I'll say this. I wasn't sad that he lost the show, but I am more. I like. I'm a first. Well, it was okay. There was the one. It was the one. I saw it on Instagram. I'm a First Amendment enthusiast. I believe in two things. I believe in the First Amendment and boobs.
Oh, that yeah.
And the lady went, "What? What? You said you're gonna say that to me? Boobs? I'm a female. I'm an anchor person, and you're gonna say that?" And it was like, you missed it. You missed it. If you're gonna believe in First Amendment right to say what I want to say, then I should be able to say what I want to say. And that means that there are going to be a lot of things out there that I am not happy to hear.
Yeah.
But that also means that I can say whatever I want to say. The whole thing about I don't think that
I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
I don't think it should have been taken off the show. I mean, if the networks want to do it, fine. But if it all of a sudden becomes some governmental thing where no, because it's exactly what we don't want to have happen.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I said I thought the same thing too. I didn't see anything or hear anything that he said that I thought was bad enough for him to get kicked off by the FCC. But if there was a policy by the company, there was a policy by the network, then fine. Like if that's not what you want. And Kimmel has said that. Kimmel said it when who was it? Was it Roseanne? One of them. One of the right wing like people who were talking. He said like, "Hey, you have the right to say what you want to say, but if the networks don't want you on, you don't have the right to have a show." And so when it happened to him, I'm like, if that's the same thing, and the network didn't want you, and you can say what you want to say, but you don't got the right to have a show if they don't want you to have a show.
That's totally true. I mean, the thing is that when you're on that show, you are the network's mouth. Like, I'm sorry, like you're the comedian and all that kind of stuff, but like, it's not. I mean, Joe Rogan has been allowed to say pretty much whatever he wants to say, and he's been pretty close to being taken off before until they realize, like, dang, that's a lot of money we're losing if we kick him off. So we really can't do that,
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's his show. Jimmy Kimmel's show. That's like, sorry, dude. Even though it's got your name on it, that's not your show. You're just the front guy, and they're trying to, have their sponsorship time and all that kind of stuff. So you are controlled. I mean, geez, when me and Sean did the CrossFit Games stuff, there were things and ways that they wanted us to say, not purely my opinion and not purely Sean's opinion. It was like, you keep it right here so that we know what it's going to be, and we can kind of control whatever's going to be said. Yeah, someone said about the View. I know there was a lot of stuff that was happening with Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, they're are they?
I mean, and
they're
Sunny,
still on. Sunny Listen was horrible. She should
hasn't she had to publicly apologize for so many things?
I think so.
Yeah,
because she just says whatever she wants, and then the company is like, "Nah, girl, that's not true," and then she has to go back and apologize and whatever. So
do you? Well, and I'll ask you, CrossFit. I'll bring this up. I don't know why. It's not pertaining to this. Well, yeah, podcast or not. Like, even if they took Joe Rogan off, he's still going to have his podcast. He can still, so they can either keep him on and not care what he says and make
Right.
the money, or they can let him go, but he's still actually going to have his own podcast and people are still going to watch that shit and someone else is going to make that money. So, with, I just don't think that the government shut down Kimmel, because if they did, I don't think he would have came back as fast as he did.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, he was only gone for a few days and then
Yeah.
he was back. I think the network was like, oh fuck, we're gonna catch some backlash. And then when everybody was like, no, free speech, even conservatives agreed, free speech, they were like, oh fuck, we can still have him on the air and no one's gonna fuck around. They brought him back. It didn't seem to me like it was the FCC or Trump, but I mean, that's just my humble
I really hope it
layman
wasn't.
opinion.
I
hope it
really
wasn't.
hope it wasn't, because I mean, if that is the case, if it was anything with the government, if it was Trump, if it was whoever, then that goes against everything that we have been talking about and that he has been talking about this whole time. You know, with like with what was going on with X and what was happening with, you know, certain things being suppressed or people getting kicked off of YouTube because they had certain videos that pertain to this, that, and the other thing. Like, you should be able to say whatever it is that you want to say. I thought it was hysterical watching the people. There was like this group of older ladies and they're holding up these signs and they're, you know, chanting about why they need to have Kimball back and stuff. And they're like, they took away our culture. That's our culture. And I'm like, man, if Kimball is your culture, you got a really shallow life. Like, I'm sorry to hear that is all that you got going on is Jimmy Kimball. Like, that sucks. That's it.
Oh, Trish,
Yay.
girl. Oh shit, she called me girl. She said, girl.
Oh,
The director directly threatened him. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't know. Look, I'm not out here with facts. I'm out here with feelings. Like, I'm just having feelings on a podcast, but thank you for the facts. If that's the case, like, yikes. I'm not a fan of that, especially for what Kimmel said. But yeah, I didn't think that. That wasn't my direct thought.
I'm kind of surprised because I mean, like, I'm in California, which is like literally the worst state when it comes to blue anything. I mean, New York is pretty bad too, and I've seen, you know, a lot of the things you guys have had to deal with. So I would suspect that I would really think that there would be more leniency in New York for something that he would be saying. You know, I don't know. This seems the whole thing seemed weird to me.
It
Seemed
was.
really weird. It's very knee-jerk reaction-ish.
Mhm.
You know, somebody was getting some pressure from somewhere. I mean, even if it was okay, if it was the department head of the FCC or whatever, I still it just seems like they would have gotten some, I don't know, some pressure from somebody. I don't know. It just seems really strange.
It's just always interesting to me, and this is the part for me that I'm just tired, like, I'm exhausted, is everybody
We're having all the fatigue. Every single fatigue
I
that is out there,
mean,
we're
for
having
real.
all the fatigue.
For real. Is the ones screaming, you can't say this, you can't say this. If you say this, I'm gonna call you every trigger word, every racist, this, every whatever. But then they turn around and they say so much shit and then say, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Like, they're on the Congress floor and AOC is saying all the things that she wants to say and calling this person a phobic this and a racist this and anti-Sem and then whatever. And then when something like Jimmy Kimmel says something and then he loses his job, or the people are going on social media and celebrating Charlie Kirk getting shot, and then their employers say, listen, we don't tolerate that shit, you gotta go. And then they're like, but free speech. Like, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tired. So, because my question constantly, and we've talked to Sousa about this a lot, like, do words have meaning? And like Sev talks about this too. Like, we have created the intensity of what words mean. You know, like, if this word is said, then it's supposed to put you on this level. If this word is said, it's supposed to decrease the temperature and bring everything back down. This is a triggering word. That is a triggering word. You can't say this because this hurts feelings.
Oh,
And like,
she's talking about this. So I asked, like, in the wake of Chase's thing where they tried to cancel him, and he was talking about like how one girl was bigger and she was
Oh,
on the
yeah.
rower, so
Yeah.
whatever. And there was that, and there was the John Young thing, and they tried to cancel him for that shit too. And I asked, and I'm gonna say her name because it's unfair if I don't say her name, but I asked Mesa, and I was very fair, and I was like, "Hey, if I say," and I'm commentating on, and we decided that a broadcast was different than a podcast. But if I'm on a broadcast and I'm talking about a woman's body and how that goes, like how that works or merges into the workout that she's in, is it okay if I comment on it? Is it okay if I say like, "Hey, holy crap, she looks like that she's on the second day of her period. She might be sluggish today. That's the worst day for me is the second day. I have the biggest cramps." Like, is it okay if I say it? Because if it's okay if I say it, because I'm a woman, but men can't comment on it or like whatever. And she basically said, "Yeah, it's okay if you comment on it, but it's not okay if a guy comments on it. It's
Mesa
weird."
doesn't know what she's talking about. Sorry.
I like,
I'm telling you. How long she been broadcasting?
I don't know, months, a
Right.
year. I don't know. I
Right.
don't know how long they've been on.
And this is no bad on her. The thing is that when you are a commentator, you are commentating on the race cars. If you want to talk about, wow, she looks really cute, different, not
Yeah.
appropriate, doesn't fit. Hey, you know what? She's looking like she's heavier. That's going to make the gymnastics really hard. Wow, she's bigger than the other people that are out there. So you know what? She's going to row a lot faster. Mass moves mass. Look at all the big lifters that are out there. They're big. Like that is not saying, look at that fat piece of shit at all, even in the realm. That's someone on the outside who is already has some insecurities about their own deal. How can they talk about me? Which is, if you are a race car, we're going to talk about your tires, your engine, your output, your blowers, your fairings, everything, because that is what's going to make you win that race. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do about the individual, whether they're a nice person, not a nice person, or anything like that. At no time, talking about Chase, has he ever said anything derogatory to the persona of that person. If you are working out with a weight vest, you are going to move slower than if you do without the weight vest. That is simple math, and that is purely what's happening. So if we're
Yeah.
talking about gymnastic movements, who's going to have the better option? The girl that weighs 105 pounds or the girl that weighs 185 pounds?
Right.
That's not saying, I mean, so-and-so, she's bigger than so-and-so, so she's going to have a harder time here. How dare he say that he's talking about her, that's her body. And it's, no, I'm spitting
If you
facts
watch
right now.
boxing or MMA, it's really interesting because they'll talk about dudes and they'll be like, "Oh, he looks like he's coming in chunky this year or this
Yeah.
fight. He
Yeah.
looks like he's coming in like he
Now,
didn't run enough."
now, to your point,
But they
the
won't say it
fact,
about women.
because why? Because they're, oh, okay, I'm not allowed to say anything. Can't say anything. If you are saying, and and I'll use Mesa because you said that she said this. If a woman is allowed to say something as a commentator about the race, men, women, whoever, anyone should be allowed to talk about that. You don't get a free pass because you're a man or a woman. Now, if you want to talk about a period, okay, yeah. What am I going to say about that? I've never had that. I don't know what the second day of a period feels like. I have no idea. All I know what it feels like is be on the other side of someone that's having
I'm
the
just
second
saying
day of a period.
you got a
He's
wife,
like, I
you
catch
got a
those.
girlfriend, you got
That's
a
what he
you're
said.
like,
He catches
yeah,
those. He knows what those feel like on the other side, but
but
not.
like if,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't use that.
I mean,
wouldn't
we
use that.
definitely like made the difference between a podcast. I want to make that very clear. We were talking about what's acceptable on a podcast and what's acceptable on a broadcast.
Okay. Well,
And
then
it was like the period thing. If I said it wrong, the period thing is the podcast. Like if I
Okay.
talk about it, but even then she was like, it would be weird if a dude did it, but like I get it if you did it. Like it was It was just there was a common thread where like dudes can't talk about women's bodies, but women can.
See, that's bullshit.
Like
I
that
I
was
I
the
I think, in my opinion, I think that is wrong. Because what you're doing now is this goes right back to the stuff we were talking about in the very beginning. When do you think it started where everyone was afraid to say anything? If me talking about an athlete and they're doing ring muscle ups and they're coming in 20 pounds heavier than they were last year, or the other
yeah,
athletes that are out there,
sorry, hold
men
on one
or
second,
women.
Bill. Hold on. Megan, that's the thing. I think guys should be able to talk about it too. Like, and not just because they are married, because they have girlfriends, because they have sisters, because they have moms, because they have like just regular girls who are friends that work out with them, because they have daughters, because they have like I think men should be able to talk about it too. I definitely believe that. And I think it should be a free for all. It's part of life and it's part of men's lives and it's part of women's lives. Granted, differently, but like when you say it's still a part of your life, you have to worry about your daughters, you have to worry about your
Totally,
girlfriend, you have
100%.
like it's still a part of a dude's life. They still have to know about it. They still have to be able to, and the more educated they are on it, like, I mean, ladies, the more helpful they'll be. Like,
Here's okay. When you are a commentator, the play-by-play is supposed to say what is happening. They're telling you who's in first, who's in second, who's ahead by so many points or so
oh
many
no,
reps.
I'm
Or
not
whatever.
saying you should talk about periods on
No, no, no,
like
no.
the
No, I got
CrossFit
you.
Games.
I got you. However, the color commentator, their job is to say why and how. Why are they doing well, or why aren't they doing well? And why aren't they doing well? Is it going to be? I mean, what are you going to say? Well, I guess they're just not strong as the other person. Why not? Like that, no kidding. Like we don't want, everybody knows that. Why? Tell me why. You're the analyst, you're the guy with the information. Why is that person not as strong as that person?
But I want Bella Martin to be on the sideline with like, I don't know, whatever athlete, female athlete, Kyra Milligan or Tia Claire Toomey or whatever, and be like, hey, how come you didn't do like what happened in that? What was the fatigue? Is it day 2 of your period? Like, I want to see that shit. Like, say that shit. I want to see
That's
Claire
cool.
Bays. Like, I want to see Claire Bays be like, is this day 2? And then be like, yeah, girl, it's day 2. I don't even know what the fuck just happened. Like, whatever. Like, that would be an amazing,
It would be.
it would be fucking awesome.
There
Like,
was a time, the first time, and it was during regionals. I think it was it was a long time ago, 2012, 2013, 2012, 2013, where we were doing the broadcast and there was double unders in the workout, and we went over and they told me, like, they're like, you will start to talk about what you see on the floor right now. It was pee on the floor from double unders. That was the year that, like, all of a sudden they made it okay that, like, guess what? A lot of women pee when they do double unders. Not just because
yes.
they're moms, not just because they've had kids, just because, like, that's just part of it.
Yep.
And so we spent time during this race watching, I can't remember, it was Heather, can't remember her last name. It was her and her sister. They were like twins that were competing way back when. And we spent it, they're like, in my headphones, I got, you're in lane 4. And I go, no, we're in lane 7 right now. And they're like, no, talk about the urine in lane 4. And I'm like,
What?
okay. Then Miranda,
Damn.
got up and talked about it. So I mean, like, these are like, those are things that happen. That's the why. Why is this happening? How is that? How is this person winning? How is that person? It's not about, man, they're just a fat ass. Wow, she's
Yeah.
hot. That is not saying why or how. Why are they are losing because they are too big to do this. Guys talk about this all the time. They know what their competitive weight is. Women do too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Yep.
just go and eat cake because you're the best and come in 40 pounds heavier and then expect to be as good as you were when you were, 155 pounds.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So as a commentator, man or woman, should be able to talk about any athlete's out there. Just like if you look at all like the football broadcasts and the basketball broadcasts where they have the women that are on there. They're allowed to say if someone is looking in shape or not in shape. They are looking this way. They're too big. They're too lean. They're limping. They're doing this. They're doing that. Why? Say it. That's your job. It's not a man or a woman thing. It's your job. And if we are this is going back to the very beginning. If we are at the point where I am handcuffing myself because I'm like, well, I can't say why this is happening because they either look too big or they look attractive. So I can't say anything because someone's going to think that I'm either trying to hit on or make fun of. So I can't say anything. Man, you're not even talking to the same person. Like, I'm a professional broadcaster. This is what we do. We're not out there trying to get dates. We're trying to tell everyone at home that's watching, why is so-and-so getting their ass kicked? Why shouldn't they be doing better at this? That's the job of the commentator. Not to sit there and stroke their hair and go, everyone is wonderful and everyone is great. And man, they're trying so hard. And I really wish they could have done better at that. But they didn't. And it was fantastic. But, we love them anyway.
Oh, my God. You would rip your hair out if
God,
someone told you to talk like that.
Don't ever talk like that again.
Right? There you go.
And it goes back to, like, we want people to understand, like, women want to be understood, but yet we are not allowed to talk about real life shit. Or you guys are not allowed to talk about real life shit.
We aren't allowed at all.
So it's like we want everybody to understand, but we can't allow for conversation to be had.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's everyone. It is victim mentality. It is everyone is afraid that they are going to say the wrong thing. That's what I mean. That's what I said. Like, this is one of the pluses about getting older. You just don't give a shit anymore. Like, you just don't. Like, I'll sit here in my gray sweatpants and just be like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I just don't care.
Ladies, calm down. Don't think about him and his gray sweatpants. Calm down, ladies. Calm down.
I was thinking like old man style. I wasn't thinking like cool jogger style or anything.
You didn't say gray.
You can't. You are literally shirtless on your Instagram all the time. You say gray sweatpants. Ladies, calm down, ladies. Laura, get back in the comments. What's happening?
She's here.
Okay.
She's here.
No, but I think that, like, it's not up to me if someone takes offense to it. If I'm trying to call the race, if they take offense to it, or someone outside, how could they say that about Olivia? How could they say that?
Worrying about the ladies. You have to worry about the men in this chat. That's true. That's true.
But I think that, that's not on me. That's on them. That's on them to words. If we are a society that is so weak that you say a word and I don't have control of how I respond to that, weak.
That's a me problem. That's a me fucking problem.
Yeah. And it's not your responsibility to stand up for me. It's not your responsibility to be offended for me. It's not your responsibility it's not. If I'm offended, I'm offended. And that's like Colleen said, it's a me thing. I have to figure that shit out. It's not anybody else's responsibility to be like, oh shit, we should like torch the village because they said this to you. Like it's not. And honestly, don't worry. Like, I've been figuring it out my entire life. I don't need you. Like, I appreciate it. And I want to be able to talk about it, but I don't need you to go start a movement because I was offended by a word.
I got hit up one time. I got blasted for saying that, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Sigmund's daughter or something, like back in the day. And I said, man, that was a really pretty lift. And they're like, how could you objectify her like that? I'm like, what are you talking? I was talking about the lift. Did you not see the lift? Like, that was a beautiful movement pattern. The snatch is a beautiful lift, no matter who it's done by. And I'll say that, I've said that on guys too, but I didn't get blasted by guys that, what are you, gay, Bill? You're not talking about that lift, that lift was not beautiful, or it is beautiful. Like, what the heck? What are you talking about?
Wow.
It's like people they're sensitive for the sake of being sensitive.
But
And
isn't that funny how they think they're lifting women up by doing that, but all
it
you're doing
puts
is
them down.
you're not giving them the attention. Like, so you'll talk about dudes all day long, so they'll be on your podcast all day long, and you can talk about them all day long, but because you can't talk about women, now they can't be on the podcast. They can't be glorified. You can't talk about them all day long. You can't say they're gorgeous. You can't say they have beautiful movement patterns. You can't say like, oh shit, even though she was on her cycle today, she fucking crushed it. Which any woman who heard that was like, oh, I should probably get up and go fucking do something during my period because she just killed a
She just
fucking
PR'd her fucking
yeah
snatch
on
a-
her third fucking day, and
less than a year after pushing a baby out.
and I was sitting here eating Oreos on my
Listen.
third day, like, but you can't say, and you can't like,
Nope, we would get blasted.
right, and it fucking sucks because it would really help some women out to be like, holy shit, it's not like she took her whole cycle off and
Yeah.
like whatever and didn't do anything on it. No, she fucking snatched 205 on day 2, which is the worst fucking day. And now you're like, oh, I should get off this fucking couch and go for a walk on day 2 because, you know, Cara Saunders just like did the clean ladder in 5 minutes with the, you know what I mean? From
Yeah.
the like, but you can't say that because you'll get crushed and that sucks.
It's just dumb. It's so weak. It's weak-minded. It's but again, like that is something it's not new. That's the hard part. Like this is years of building to we're catering to your feelings. So like just like we want to change everyone's perception. Well, it's not going to happen in one fell swoop. It's going to take some time to get people to where, all right, hey, you know what? When someone says that, maybe they're not being derogatory. Maybe they're not being whatever.
Yeah.
But it also takes, I think, on our end, like this is something that Sevon does really, really well. That dude talks a ton of trash, right?
Yeah.
Like a ton of trash.
Tons.
But yet
He pissed me the fuck off the other day.
Yesterday, it was yesterday.
Colleen
was hot for like 2 hours. He's like, is he fucking talking to me? And I'm like,
he pissed me the fuck off yesterday.
But the thing is,
we got back, we went listening to him to go get lunch. We had lunch. We had a great time. Got back in the car. She's like, okay, I was like, oh, great. We're going to put Sev back on. Pissed me off for the ride home. And he did. Pissed me off for the ride home.
And then we had an amazing conversation about it. And everything is fine.
And I didn't call him. And I didn't go on his Instagram and curse him the fuck out.
the thing that's great about Sevon is he will say all kinds of things. He's very opinionated about certain things or whatever, but in reality, like he doesn't have any ill feelings about anybody.
No, it is
like
not.
Like that to
Are
me.
No,
I am.
Really
Like,
doesn't.
I mean, he'll say like, he'll like, oh, you're a fucking asshole and you're a fucking idiot, and he'll say those things true. But like that's just through the discord of like communication. Like he's not like, no, I really hate your guts. Like I hope you die. Like that kind of like where it's bad stuff.
Evil.
He's like, hey, we'll talk. I mean, he does it for the most part. Like when he gets, Pat Lang will hop there, and those guys will mix it up and stuff, and he'll thrash on Pat. But he also
literally doesn't have conversation.
Totally.
We just jumped 10 viewers. People are telling Sevon that he
Oh,
pissed me
shit.
off yesterday, so we just jumped 10 views.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. But I think that that's at some point we got to get to that point, and it's going to take some time. And what it'll be people like Sevon and hopefully people like me and people like Chase, where it's like, you know what, we're doing the right thing by calling what is, not pandering to on
Yeah.
whatever the thing is, whether it's a, you know, granted, if it's a show that's on,
That's the problem. I said his name.
There
We
we go.
learned the secret
3 times.
sauce.
Yeah.
We learned the secret
I
sauce. This
said
is
his
how you
name.
get more viewers. Say Sevon's name. They mandated we inject ourselves with poison. We suggest they don't take Tylenol. End of story.
Oh, he's 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
he
Ah,
didn't
he's
even
catching up. He's all good. He's all good.
He didn't even hear
Damn.
it yet. He didn't even hear it yet.
Oh shit.
But I think that's important. I think that's important. And I think we could get there. I do. But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, because it's, like I said, it's, I mean, easily decade and a half, if not 2 decades of, we want to make sure you're feeling okay, pandering to the feelings, pandering to the emotions. So to write that around in one, it's not going to happen. It's going to take some time.
Well, I follow a therapist, and she really is talking about this fantasizing, romanticizing about victimhood and trauma. That
Yeah.
like everything that you say, everything that you hear that you don't agree with is not trauma.
Right.
But we take it as trauma, and then we react to it as trauma. And then we're cutting off relationships. We're not able to have conversations. We're not able to regulate our own personal emotions and stuff like that. And there's this fantasy and romanticized version of victimhood. It's better for us to stay in victimhood. And one of her reasonings is because you're getting attention from other people, because
Yep.
they're pouring, they're like gas to a flame. They're pouring it all, you know?
Yeah.
Woe
Yeah.
is you. I can't believe you went through that, versus being like, okay, you went through that, and now what?
Yeah.
And now what do we do? You know? And
like, oh, I'm so sorry again, but like me not having a tampon when I need it in the exact moment I need it is not me being a victim. Like the whole world is not against me because I have to like hustle and go find a tampon somewhere. It's just not.
No,
It-
but like you're right. You're right. It sucks.
It does.
mean,
It's
it
a horrible
does.
moment, and I
Okay.
have to hopefully wrap my backpack or my sweatshirt around my waist, but I'm gonna survive, and I'm gonna go find one, and then I'm gonna be okay. Like-
The word I cannot stand, and I've hated it for so long, is the
gonna
word
say it.
triggered.
oh, okay.
Triggered. What
I
did
thought you were
think
gonna
I
say
was
safe,
Yes.
safe space.
Oh, well, that too.
that
that to me because it's just, God, it just exudes fucking weakness, and I hate that. I hate weakness. I hate it, especially when it doesn't. Like, there's one thing struggling. Like, I get that, I understand that, but when something is weak for the sake of being weak, and you get applauded for being weak, I can't handle it. It drives me crazy, because well, I'm triggered by that. Okay, so great. So you told everyone that bothered you. Cool. Is that probably can't we just go back to the word bothered? Because
Yeah,
it's
Mm.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like, you're just bothered by it. Okay, you're not triggered. Triggered makes it sound like it's connected directly to like the trauma that you were talking about, Colleen, and that's not the case. Not everything is trauma. Not
Right.
everything is equal on the trauma scale. You know, just because
Yeah,
something
because if you
bad
put
happened,
it-
it's not that.
if you put it on the same, if you put everything on the same level of trauma, if you actually experience actual trauma, you don't actually give yourself an opportunity to deal with that trauma, because
No.
everything's on the same place.
Yeah.
So then you pile everything on top of it, and you act like everything is on the same level, until you finally realize that it's actually the trauma that has rippled into a lot of other places.
Right.
And then you need to work on that. And then once you work on that, you can find the freedom, which is, and this is in my case, that I have found the freedom of not leading with my trauma and
Yeah.
what I went through. and not leading, then turning around and also not leading with my sexuality.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, how freeing is that I can just lead with who I am versus all of that and not allowing every single thing to be on that same level of like, I'm triggered by this, I'm triggered by this. Where now, and I like that word so much better, and it's more of a conversation of, hey, that really bothered me.
Yeah.
And why did it bother me? Versus being like,
yeah, good job with that word. I like that word
oh,
too.
you
I'm gonna
trigger
start.
me.
Yeah.
So then usually what happens when someone says, oh, you triggered me, what do? You back up. You don't say shit. There's nothing left to say. Or you go, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no room for conversation as to what bothered me. I like that word. I like bothered.
But because then if you say like, hey, that bothered me, I'd be like, yo, what's up? What bothered you?
Yeah.
And then that leads to conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas you triggered me means like, oh, fuck, she's about to blow the fuck up and I don't want to deal with this. So I'm out and I don't care. Like that's the fatigue.
And I don't want to discount what people have had to go through in their life. But the fact of the matter is that everyone has gone through something. And even though if you were to like to write it all out on a scale, it's like, well, obviously this person had these things happen. This person only had these things happen. As far as they each know, they only know what their world was like. They
Yes.
only know
Yes.
how bad their shit is. And so my level 9 or 10 might be you're like 6. You're like, what are you worried about? But that's the thing, because no one's walking around with like this number system so that you know how bad or how hard to push someone or what to say or what not. That just makes it to where everyone's walking around on eggshells.
Yes.
Which, if you flip it, it's not everyone's job to take care of you. It's your job to take care of you. So let the world kind of do its thing and say what they need to say. The broadcasters say what they need to say. The politicians say what they need to say. And then you get to take whatever words that come out of all those talking heads, and you now get to decide how you want to feel about that. This does not make me anything. It doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make me sad. I decide whether it makes me happy or sad or angry or pissed or whatever. I decide, not someone else, not my trauma. And like when we do because of the trauma, I'm this. I have a hard time with that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, and I'm not saying that people don't have reactions to certain things. But when that is the statement that people use as a first level of discussion, then it's like, well, you are complete. I have complete power over you because you have no control over how you respond to anything, and that cannot be the case. It can't be the case.
Yep. Woman said it perfectly. It's not my job to tiptoe around your triggers. And when you are triggered, I go. Let me know when you figure that shit out and we can have a conversation.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth the Lap, like and subscribe. Please become a member.
Please become a member.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Frank, if you're out there, sorry I didn't get to your question, but
CrossFit. Bill gives me trauma watching how he dressed for old HQ videos.
Appreciate you guys. Kippen, hope your baby's here and safe and sound.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. And thank y'all for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to Crash, go to Crash. We'll see you at Crash.
You guys are going to be there.
We are.
We will be there. Yeah.
2 years in a row.
Nice. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Love y'all. You're the best. You're the best chat in the world.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here.
We'll see y'all later. All right.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.